They are Barclays Premier League champions for 2016-2017. Leicester City fully deserving of it. Hello there guys, and welcome to the second instalment of Career Mode Sunday. It is Niran here, and today it is time for the final of the Champions League, this special episode just dedicated solely to, well, post-season, but also the Champions League final as well. Last time out, of course, about, well, an hour and a half ago, you saw us finally lift the Barclays Premier League trophy at the end of Season 2. In that match of the day style finale, and it was absolutely awesome, it has to be said. Before we get into this episode, got to ask you two questions. Question of the day, there'll be two straw polls in the description. The first of which you just saw Kasper Schmeichel a moment ago. You guys have been telling me for a while that I should be replacing him, but I don't know if that opinion still stands. So in the description there will be a straw poll asking whether I should sell Kasper Schmeichel in the summer at the start of Season 3 and replace him with a better goalkeeper. And the second of the straw polls is who is your player of the season so far. There'll be about a list of 10 players, and you guys can decide who the fans' player of the season for Season 2 is. Of course, in Season 1, it was Andre Kramrich, but he's not here anymore. So who will it be in Season 2? Nevertheless, after those questions, which I hope you guys will answer in the description, we're just having a look at some stats before we get into the main fixture of today's episode. If you are wanting to skip some stats in terms of who's top scorer in the league, assists, clean sheets, all that good stuff at the end of the BPL season, then you can skip to about a 2-minute 30 mark. That's where the Champions League final starts. As you can see though, the assists there in the background, quite a few representatives from Leicester in this one. Herman and Vardy down towards the bottom, Arnold there in 14th, but Wissam Ben Yedder at the top of the assist list outright as well. And at the top of the clean sheets list is Kasper Schmeichel with 14. Didn't quite make it a hat-trick and a clean sweep in terms of the honours and the accolades because we didn't quite get the golden boot. But Mbolo and Vardy certainly gave it a good try, and Riyad Mahrez was down towards the bottom of the top 25 as well, so a really good season for him. Here you can see confirmation of the table at the end of the season as well after that match of the day finale, where of course we drew against Norwich, a last gasp goal from Nathan Redmond, securing a point for Norwich. United kept on a second despite a loss because Arsenal lost as well, and Liverpool managed to take that final top 4 slot in front of City, Spurs, Chelsea and Bournemouth. Shout out to them, fantastic season for Bournemouth, up in 8th place. As you can see though, tournament prize money, we get a full £18 million for winning the league, which is absolutely awesome. But now it is time to get into the main part of today's episode. We've won the Premier League trophy. We knew that 2 episodes ago, but now it is time for the Champions League final. We have beaten Barcelona and Bayern Munich over 2 legs to get here. The Estadio Vicente Calderón, which is Atletico Madrid Stadium, I do believe, for the final of the Champions League, an all-English final as well. Who would have thought that would have been said in comparison to real life? But we play Manchester United. This is of course their chance for revenge after we completely ended their chances of the Premier League title face to face. Beating them completely ended their Premier League hopes, but of course they can still win the Champions League. Man to watch out for is Donald Mbolo, who's been in fantastic form in the league so far in the last sort of the second half of the season. There you can see United squad in the background. It's a pretty strong one, it has to be said. Perhaps the one weak link being Andreas Pereira at attacking midfield. Here you can see our squad though: Schmeichel in goal, Masuaku and Kulu, Wimmer and Perez at the back, Arnold and Kante as defensive mids, Mahrez and Herman as wingers, and Vardy and Mbolo up front. Of course, Vardy and Nkulu are both back from injury, which put them out towards the end of the season, but they are back now and back for this Champions League final here in Spain against fellow English club Manchester United. Wayne Rooney there trying to find Andreas Pereira, but it looks as if it could be quite a shaky and quite a cagey start overall. Misplaced passes left, right and centre. Another one there from Masuaku, but a defensive mistake from Matteo Darmian. Maybe some nerves starting to creep in defence as well, but again another incomplete pass. Kevin Wimmer though now winning the ball off Wayne Rooney and charging forward, trying to play the ball forward towards Donald Mbolo. The clearance from Marcus Rojo bouncing off Mbolo, but it's cleared away in the end by the United defender. Kante now going forward, finding Riyad Mahrez down the right hand side, trying to grow into this game. It's been fairly chanceless so far, but Riyad Mahrez just putting the ball wide. Really nice attempt from him, cutting inside from the right hand side. That's what he loves to do, and on that left foot just curving the ball just past the post. Going forward again though now into the 22nd minutes, and the other winger, Patrick Herman, who's now getting involved in the action, cutting inside, but it's an easy save there for Sergio Romero in the United goal. feel overall it's not been too action-packed this first 27 minutes, but we are starting to grow into the game and really starting to test United. Another chance there for Herman, but a better save, slightly less comfortable one for Sergio Romero. Going forward though again, Wimmer starting from the back and finding Kante, then Herman, Mahrez, then Embolo. Some quick passing here. Kante trying to open up some space for Embolo to run into. Embolo has run into it. It's 1-on-1. He scores against Sergio Romero and against United, and we take the lead. The vital first goal in this Champions League final. Embolo will celebrate with the substitutes, Danny Drinkwater and Luka Zahovic, who have helped us get here in the first place. They do not start the final. They've had a fundamental part in getting us here. Kante working the space, passing it around Chris Smalling, and it's a lovely composed finish from Breel Donald Embolo, and we do have that first goal here in the Champions League final. Is the dream on? The double? Surely it can't be happening. As you can see, United trying to solve that and trying to end that hope. Ribery there firing the ball back in towards Wayne Rooney, and Patrick Herman is just about there. It's smothered clear as well by Kasper Schmeichel. United starting to close down. It's a really good response from them, actually. It has to be said. They've won the ball back there again after a loose pass from Bruno Perez. Ribery there finding Andres Pereira, but Schmeichel is out quickly to deny the young Brazilian, who was actually offside in the end anyway. And at half-time, we are 1-0 up. We've won the BPL. Surely we cannot win the Champions League as well. A European and domestic double is surely on the cards thanks to Breel Donald Embolo's 35th minute goal. Max Arnold trying to put the ball over the top for Jamie Vardy. His pace has allowed him through. It's a good save from Romero. Back to Embolo. What a finish. What an incredible rebound goal. And Embolo, surely now the dream is very much a reality. The ball over the top from Arnold is absolutely sensational. It's a lovely left-footed half volley from Vardy. It's spilled a little bit by Romero, but look at the technique on that half volley from Embolo to fire it back into Romero's net. And we lead 2-0 here in the Champions League final. We ended United's Premier League hopes. And as a Liverpool fan, it's fantastic to be ending their Champions League hopes as well. Potentially United, though, going forward again. Just 5 minutes later, some fantastic defending, though, there from Kevin Wimmer. United going forward again, and Max Arnold this time is the man to win the ball back. Good defending is going to have to be key in our game towards the end of this one. Schweinsteiger's injured, but it's not stopping United going forward, and Schneidlin forcing a save out of Kasper Schmeichel. We, though, are going forward again just 2 minutes later. Herman found by Riyad Mahrez and forcing the save out of Sergio Romero, then to be cleared away by the United defender. Luke Shaw going forward there with United, and it's blazed wide by Andres Pereira. It's now become a very, very open game as United start to fire forward and try and get 2 goals. But of course now, with only 2 minutes to go, surely it is looking even less likely. Riyad Mahrez getting into some beef there with Dali Blind. United trying to go forward with Marcos Rojo, but it's fantastic defending from Wimmer into injury time, and surely it is over and done now. The Champions League is surely ours. United going backwards now, and it is. It's all over. We are Barclays Premier League champions and Champions League winners. We have done the double thanks to a double from Breel Donald Embolo. The absolute hero wins us the Champions League with 2 vital goals. Composure with the first, fantastic technique with the second, and yet again United are dealt a direct blow here this season. Firstly in the Barclays Premier League and now in the Champions League, and just to add salt to the wounds, it's the same club that has dealt both blows. The likes of Sisto, Drinkwater, who perhaps haven't been fully fledged first team players all season, celebrating as well. They got on late on as well, and they have been fundamental for us. The likes of Tarajai right at the back there, Francois Kamano just behind Nkulu as well. The likes of Luka Zahovic, who of course scored that vital away goal in the semi-final. Without that, we wouldn't be here against Bayer Leverkusen. And it's Kasper Schmeichel who's lifting another trophy. This is pretty familiar sight now. Of course, we just lifted a trophy about an hour and a half ago, real time, with the Barclays Premier League. But now, the Champions League is ours as well. Kasper Schmeichel getting the opportunity to lift yet another trophy. Kante, Arnold, Embolo, Mahrez, they're all legends. Wimmer and Nkulu at the back. The fullbacks, Perez and Masuaku, Drinkwater, and some of the other Leicester originals like Jamie Vardy, Andy King. All sorts of players. Zahovic with his orange boots at the back. They've all been fantastic this season, and they have really, really helped us win not only the BPL, but the Champions League as well. Fireworks again in the night sky, really actually standing out a little bit more than usual. But as you can see, grouping together for the group photo. We are Champions League finalists and crucially winners as well as BPL winners. Unsurprisingly, Breel Donald Embolo gets man of the match, an 8.5 rating after getting both goals to win us the Champions League final. Absolute heroics, it has to be said. And as you can see in the background, as we come off that massive high of winning the Champions League, you can see some training in the background. This is all of the postseason training for the end of the season. We've already seen Daniel Amati go up to an 80 overall, now training Zahovic, Kano, Gudinho and Fuka Arte Masuaku as well to see if they will go up an overall. Kano did go up an overall, he's now 76. You can also see Gudinho, Masuaku and the young centre-back Lasse Jonsson also going up an overall thanks to training as well. Now Luka Zahovic, Embolo and also Ravel Story will be trained as well. You can see Zahovic and Story going up an overall, which is nice to see. So many players going up in terms of overall right at the end of the season, which is really nice to see. Now you can see Tarajai, Mahrez, Frederick Riex, the youngster from the Youth Academy being trained, as well as Breel Donald Embolo as well. And of course Embolo, the main man of this episode, potentially the main man of the season as well. Which is just, I mean, he's been fantastic. He had a fairly slow start in Season 1. Wasn't exactly, you know, potentially worth the money that we paid for him. We thought he was going to be a bit more influential than he was. But certainly he has had his impact now. And we are BPL and Champions League winners. In the background, you're seeing the appearances, goals and assists and all that sort of stuff for the players, as well as their growth and obviously their age as well. Kasper Schmeichel, who's played 52 games this season. Fantastic growth though for some players. Amati and Arnold both up 3, as well as Embolo and Zahovic too. Those guys have really had fantastic seasons. And it has to be said, really breakthrough seasons, in my opinion. Certainly for potentially Francois Kamano, you could say, but certainly Luka Zahovic. Obviously, this is his first season with the club, but he has been absolutely fantastic. And he's outshone Shani Tarajai, which is saying a lot because Tarajai himself has been pretty damn fantastic as well. Obviously, it's been somewhat of a breakthrough season as well for all of the youth players like Flanagan, Boylerson, Marcus Karlgren especially, and Ravel Story, the man you see on the screen there. Vestergaard as well, who's gone up by 4. You can see the main man Karlgren as well. The youngsters have been fantastic. Ben Chilwell there as well. Chowdhury, of course, who was the main man last season after his amazing debut, hasn't featured that much at all this season. Wes Morgan, the aging captain as well, featuring a little bit. Sisto, you know, I said he wasn't maybe a first team shoe-in, but 42 appearances across the season. That is 11 more than Wissam Ben Yedder and even more than Patrick Herman. Only 1 away from Jamie Vardy. A massive 52 from Nicholas and Kulu in terms of appearances. You can see all the stats as well for all of those players in the background as well if you do want to see all of those. But nevertheless, what a second season it has been. A lot of you guys asking whether I'll be doing a season 3 of this. I will be, purely because we've won the Capital One Cup, we've now won the BPL and the Champions League. I want to win the FA Cup as well, and potentially even the World Cup as well at the end of season 3 with England. Nevertheless, if you have enjoyed today's episode of Leicester City Career Mode, feel free to hit the likes button. Surely winning the Champions League an hour and a half after winning the BPL deserves 100 likes. I hope you guys have enjoyed hashtag Career Mode Sunday in general. I managed to try and hype this up a little bit. 2 episodes, of course, in 2 days. Let me know if you want to see sort of events like this in future as well. But 2 massive episodes on one massive day. A massive day for Leicester City Football Club in real life, actually, as well as coincidentally, as well as in this series as well. If you like what you see though, make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. Comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much, and don't forget to vote on the 2 straw polls in the description, being whether I should sell Kasper Schmeichel and replace him next season, and also who you would like to see be crowned the Fans Player of the Season for Season 2. Nevertheless, it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today, an absolute pleasure, twice in a row ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.
Nah, that's not me. Act like a waste man.